Okay, good.
Hell yeah, man. What's up?
Been a long day. Been a
Has
long
it?
day. One of them days. How about you? How are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Actually,
Good.
my day was pretty fucking relaxed.
Was it? That's good. That's good to have
Yeah,
those.
I know. We had a side. I do. We flip houses,
Okay.
and in between flips, we'll do like side jobs. Like small stuff. And today was one of those days. It rained most of the day, but it was like a bunch of odd shit. This older lady, bought a like $1 million house in
Mm,
downtown
nice.
Greenville, yeah, South Carolina, and which is only about 20 minutes away from where I live. And so she's only been there 2 months, and she needed like just odd stuff done, like
Yeah.
hang up one of those like broom handle hangers,
Yeah.
in the garage. Um, and then there was a couple of doors. I think that whatever they had done at the house, like some things settled. So like the caulk around the back of the countertop and the tile was all, pulled away.
Blown up.
Yeah. Um, so recaulked that, like just real basic shit. She didn't like the cabinet handles. They were like these straight up and down like T looking things, and then she wanted the round ones. Just basic shit. She was super nice, bro. We got there at 9 a.m. and she is like, house is like immaculate. Okay, it's she's real clean and stuff, and she's got coffee for us. She's like, "Oh, I have coffee for you boys," and she had pastries and stuff that she went and bought. I was like, "Bro,
Nice.
this is,"
I
usually
can handle this. I can handle this. This is
for
nice.
real. We're walking into a place that's fucking falling apart. So anyway, it was nice. Yeah.
Good. That's good.
Hell yeah, man. So welcome, bro.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, this is awesome. You are Baby Goat.
That I am. That I am.
Yes.
Yep.
Tacos Baby Goat is your Instagram. And I've
Yes,
been really
sir.
looking forward to talking with you, man, because big news over the last few months that I've just, been hearing about as I'm talking with people, with the NSL stuff coming over here. And listen, man, I was probably like 6 months ago that I just started learning about like CSL, Speed QB. I literally thought just a few months ago, I thought Speed QB was the term used for Speedsoft.
Yeah. And
um, I didn't know.
yeah, that's kind of what people used to use. Like that was just like the general term, but now with all these other leagues and stuff joining, we're kind of separating our ways from you know the name Speed QB. That's more a brand than a style. We play Speed Soft,
Right.
so um, but yeah, just there's a lot of stuff popping off right now for the Speed Soft. There's a lot of leagues forming, a lot of leagues popping up right now.
Yeah.
We're in this really great spot right now where we're just starting to go uphill. We're starting to get some really big sponsors. HK Army joined NSL.
Oh shit.
Um,
Right.
so they're sponsoring NSL. They're sponsoring the Zebras, which is the ref crew. They're
Oh
sponsoring a
shit.
few. Yeah, they hooked them up with complete gear, ref jerseys, goggles, everything, gloves, neck protectors, everything the refs will need. Um, they're sponsoring teams. They sponsored my team, Tacos. They took care of us. They took care of us.
Dude, that's
So
awesome, man.
yeah,
Okay. So
yeah,
this is like the next step of what needs to be happening for Speedsoft to get to the next level, to where it's, where we kind of get obviously more exposure,
yeah,
but working towards getting where we have this you know bigger national tournament
yep,
where we can see, hey, who's the best team in America.
exactly. Yeah, we're definitely taking NSL very serious, very professional,
Yeah.
on and off the field. If you've watched any or played any NSL, you'll know that our referees they don't mess around. Like they're very strict. Our penalties are strict if you're not calling your hits because that's the biggest issue with airsoft. I don't care what you play if it's milsim, speed soft, whatever. It's people not calling their hits. That's the biggest thing. So
Yep.
That's something huge that the refs take, and that's we're trying to push towards that professional sport. So taking it
Right.
serious.
Well, that was something that was really foreign to me when I started this. So just a little background. I don't know if you know this, but I've never played airsoft. I played paintball. Two of my sons are in their 20s. They started playing airsoft like 3.5 years ago. I was coming out of being paralyzed for a couple years
Oh
with an
shit!
illness. Yeah, I was fully paralyzed for a while, and then it's called a Guillain-Barré syndrome. Like totally healthy my whole life, totally fine, didn't even feel sick. All of a sudden, my hands stopped working. I was like, "What the fuck?" And then, like 4 days later, I couldn't walk, and I was laying in bed for a while. And so
Crazy.
coming out of that, my son, I was able to come, walk down here and kind of hang out, walk around the house and stuff. I started a couple YouTube channels. My son started playing airsoft, and I was like, "Hey, it was just an idea for another YouTube channel."
Mhm.
I was like, "Fuck, I'll film your shit, whatever. These are cool looking guns, that kind of thing." And then that was it. And we started our channel doing unboxings and reviews. So we
Okay.
unboxed stuff, mystery boxes, and then reviewed the guns that we'd get. So they would do some gameplay because they would play milsim. They like milsim stuff. So 3-day milsims, the whole experience, camping out and shit like that.
Oh
So they
yeah.
would go to those, and then they filmed a handful of them, 5 or 6 or whatever. But we didn't have. It wasn't like they were going every month or something. So most of our channel were unboxing and reviews.
Yeah.
And then these guys got busy a year ago. I wanted to put some content on the channel, and I was already talking with people kind of like this through our Discord,
Mhm.
just hangouts, just like, hey, what you doing tonight, kind of shit. I'm like, oh, I'm playing this or I'm playing that, whatever, and we'd bullshit, or somebody'd ask a question about a gearbox. So because I worked on I would fix these guys' guns when they break,
Yeah.
because I did maintenance for in factories for years, so I was mechanically inclined. So I popped up with the first gearbox, springs went flying. I didn't know what the fuck I
I
was doing.
remember that. I remember my first time.
And finding that little anti-reversal spring, fuck you, bro.
Yeah, man.
That thing.
It's
So
gone.
anyway, that I started talking to people and I started recording it, and honestly started the podcast on a fluke, like just something to do.
Yeah.
And that's where, and then recently, probably in the last 6 months, is when I really got serious about, hey, I like doing this. It's fun. I love meeting new people, and everyone I would talk with, it would lead to somebody else. They're like, "Oh, you need to talk to this dude." I'm like, "Okay, fuck, I can talk to people. I don't care."
Yeah.
So that's kind of how it started, honestly. And then in the last 3 or 4 months, I've gotten really interested in the Speedsoft stuff.
Okay.
Um, and I've talked with more and more Speedsofters, and that's kind of where I'm at now. So I'm
Yeah.
really enjoying, learning all about what you guys got going on.
Yeah. I was checking out some of your past podcasts, and yeah, you got some speed softers on here too. It's not just one thing. I mean, we,
Right.
we know that the Milsim side's huge and stuff like that, but Speedsoft is starting to gain some momentum too. So it's cool that you're talking to everybody. If that's what you like to do,
Yeah.
cool, do it.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
all for it.
well, I played paintball for 6 years after I got out of the military and stuff, and I was really into I was into it as not as far as the sport goes, honestly, just to blow off steam because we were working a lot of overtime. Me and my buddies, that's who I played with, guys from work, and we worked in a factory, and a lot of us were newly married, had like 1 or 2 kids, kind of thing, and we just needed a break. So like Saturday mornings, bro, we're just going out there like jeans and a t-shirt. Who can get the biggest welts? Who can inflict the most pain? We didn't give a shit. We didn't have rules. We played in my buddy's woods. That was it. So yeah,
Yep.
we did that for
Yeah,
a while.
that's
But
where I started. I started paintball. I don't even know. 25 years ago, I started playing.
yeah,
Um, Played for a while, took a break, had a kid. By the time he was kind of old enough to play, I was like, I used to play paintball, but for me and him to both play, that's kind of expensive. Let's check out this airsoft thing. And we just started playing. It was to, spend time with my son. And next thing you know, we're like, hey, let's start a team. Let's play these little local tournaments. And boom, now here we are, where we're at now. So
That's cool,
That's
man. Now,
cool.
did you start tacos, or was it a different team that you started and then changed
No,
later?
it was me, my son, and one of my friends back in the day. She super good at social media, so it was us three. We started tacos, and she was just super good at social media. And once you get some good edits and films and stuff like that, yeah, we started getting bigger. Then we did a tryout, and we next thing we know, we have about 14 people on the roster, and yeah, just blew up from there.
Yeah,
I'm running Monk US, so I do airsoft for a living. That's what I do. So
yeah.
I definitely can't complain where airsoft's taken me.
Oh, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is like, so tell everyone that wants to know how to do airsoft for a living. All these young guys going into it, they see these YouTubers, they see, and they see a lot of fairly new, like within maybe, airsofters have been playing for maybe 2 or 3 years that have sponsors, and they think a lot of younger players think, oh, if you're sponsored, you're doing it full time. Like that. No, that's not what it means.
No,
So
there's very few that actually get to do this full time. I'm one of the very lucky. I love every day that I get to go to work, and I'm doing airsoft. I'm doing
right,
airsoft for work. Um, but just the way to get into it, you definitely have to be active on social media so people see you. Without that, just people won't see. You got to be on social media.
right,
Definitely go to one of your local shops. Start that way. Get in with them. If you can get a job teching some guns, working the front counter, whatever. That's just one way to get your foot into the door if you want to go that way. I was very lucky with how I got into airsoft and working with Monk. The guys over in Europe, they needed some stuff done that they couldn't get from Europe. They could only get from the United States.
mm,
I had a pretty good rapport with Bert, the owner of Monk, and I helped him get some, a few products over there for some of their Monk guns, and we just started chopping it up from there, and um, just gained a friendship from that. And
right.
next thing I know, I'm filling out paperwork for Monk Customs LLC. So um,
Oh shit.
yeah, it's just crazy. So um, for right now, kids, look
Yeah,
into something else because airsoft's not paying. We're trying to get that way. That's what these NSLs, CSLs, all these speed QB tournaments. That's where we would like to get. Where
yeah,
one day, if we could get some players getting paid, that
right.
would be the ultimate goal. But until now, stay in
Yeah,
school.
yeah, right. Yeah, don't quit your day job. But the social media thing for sure. Like there's a lot of opportunities to get your name and everything out there, and a lot of videos and stuff. Where you can. I mean, the people that do their YouTube videos, it's kind of like a interview or their profile. Their portfolio almost. Like, hey, here's what I can do, right?
Yeah,
And everyone sees that, and
100.
you build that up. And it's because years ago you couldn't. I mean, before all this, what
Yeah,
we're doing now and all that, you couldn't. Like, you had to meet people face to face, tell them what you did, write something down, show them, whatever. And it was that one person. Now you put it out and it's going everywhere where more and more people can see it.
yeah, and these companies want to see, what you're doing and how you're doing it. And trust me, they don't want no jackass, kids running around doing crazy stuff. You know,
Yeah,
act professional, look professional, put out professional videos as best that you can.
yeah,
Talk to people, hit up companies. Before I landed HK, I was emailing all kinds of companies, and I send them pretty much a email resume of
right.
what I've done, what I've accomplished, what I've done for the community, and what my team stands for, and this and that, and how just everything. Literally a resume through email, and hit up companies, hit up companies, hit up companies. You gotta grind it.
Yeah,
I've sent out a ton of emails before I had companies really starting to look at us and stuff like that, and it'll pay off. It's a long grind, but it'll pay off.
Well, it's yeah. I mean, that's like anything in life. You've got to put in the work before you see the results. That's
Yep.
just the way it is.
Yep.
So
Yeah, you're not going to put out one, two, three YouTube videos, and next thing you know, you have Speed QB knocking at your door to try to give you free stuff.
damn
Nope.
it. Uh,
Nope. But, but
Hell yeah, man. Now you're in SoCal. Is that right? You're in California.
NorCal, I'm in Sacramento.
Oh,
So
you're in Sacramento. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
So
Okay, cool.
yeah, it's pretty good scene here. We got some good, really good, solid teams here that play. We held NSL here last year. Had some teams come over from Europe, and of course, those guys they kicked our butt because that's what they do. But yeah,
Mm,
we got some good, solid teams here. We're not too far from the LA scene if we want to drive down there for some tournaments. So we're in a pretty good location right here. Pretty good
okay.
location. So
Are you from that area originally, or
I'm all over. I'm actually originally from LA.
okay?
Born in LA, raised in Redding, which is very far north
Oh yeah,
California.
I got a friend
Then
that's well, a viewer of ours that I've been talking with for 3 years now, who lives up in Redding. Okay.
okay, yeah, I'm all over California, so all over the place. So
Hell yeah.
then, yeah, our team's traveling. I'm leaving Tuesday. We're going to Indiana, so we're going to be going over there for our NSL. That's the first one of this year, so it's going to be fun and exciting to see how that is and battle with the East Coast boys. So
Right. Yeah. So that is next, not this coming weekend, but next weekend, right?
next weekend, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So
because so I'm doing a group podcast that we do like monthly. I'm doing one this Sunday where one of the guys is Houdini, who is on HSA.
uh-huh.
Yeah, he's and
Mhm.
so we were trying to plan the dates, and what we originally said was that following weekend. He's like, nope, I'll be in Indiana
Go ahead
for
and
the
grab him. Go
NSL.
ahead and grab him. We don't. He doesn't need to be in NFL. That's
No,
fine.
no, no, no. I would never sabotage his team like that.
Yeah, no, I like Houdini. I've talked with him a few times and stuff like that, and
Yeah,
we jab back and forth at each other and stuff like that,
sure.
and we had some fun. But yeah, he's a good dude. He's a good dude.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's cool, man. I can't believe, man. Since I got started talking with some of the speed softers, what a tight knit group you guys are. Like all the teams know each other, and I
Yeah.
mean, you might hate each other on the field for
Oh yeah,
that
we
day,
do.
during that game, but it's such a tight knit group. It's like, man, this person tells me about that person is on this team and that team, and then I'm like, dude, holy shit, man, this is
Yeah,
cool.
because honestly, there's not a whole lot of us. I mean, we're starting to get bigger, but like really like hardcore teams, there's not a whole lot of us. Like I take this shit serious.
Yeah.
I don't sleep at night because I'm thinking about airsoft. In fact, I woke up this morning at 1:30 in the morning. I had 2 hours of sleep and I woke up thinking about work and everything. But yeah, we're
Whew.
there's not a whole lot of us hardcore teams. So yeah,
Right.
we like to get together, pick each other's brains, then make fun of each other on the field and stuff like that. Same old stuff, high school football stuff. But
Sure, man.
yeah, yeah,
Do you
we
guys do you ever watch people's like YouTube videos or videos of games where you kind of watch film, like you
yeah,
study the other
oh yeah.
team, their play style and that shit?
Yeah, I've watched every minute of every NSL. If there's like a CSL tournament, I'm a nerd. I'm a nerd for this stuff. I watch everything. CSL tournaments, I go back and watch gameplay, GoPro footage. I watch everything. I watch a lot of the Europeans and how they do it because I'm going to be playing everything, but Taco's main focus is NSL this year.
Right.
So I watch a lot of the Europeans and see how they do it because they're just so dominant. Like they
Hmm.
have they have everything down perfect. So I'm
Why is
watching
that?
them.
Like I was really surprised, I guess, when I started learning about all these tournaments that we have here, Speedsoft stuff, and I wasn't. I guess I thought, because I'm like I said, I'm naive. I'm very new to the airsoft world. Just 3.5 years. Honestly, 3.5 years. I'm is when that's when I got introduced just to the airsoft in general. Like
Yeah.
when I went from going, what airsoft? Like you're playing airsoft, like those little kid things with the clear plastic shit that I bought you when you're 12, that kind of thing. To they bring in their M4 that's all decked out, and I'm like, holy shit. That kind of thing was 3.5 years ago, and so that was my, you know, I knew nothing, and so just a few months ago, learning about more of the Speedsoft stuff. I guess I assumed there was already like a national type of ranking system and tournament that everyone played together, and I didn't know. And then when I heard about NSL for the first time just a few months ago, I somebody was telling me, it might have been Houdini, was telling me like how more advanced they are, I guess, or maybe more experienced than
More
we are as
experience.
far as
They've been
speed soft.
playing NSL probably about a year longer than us. So,
Okay,
and if you're not familiar with NSL, there is a lot of rules to it, a lot of little things that you just need to know and what to remember and how to do things. And yeah, there's a lot to it. It's not just your typical, speed soft. You go out there 5v5, shoot each other until they're dead.
yeah,
It's literally like playing football and airsoft. It's the
yeah.
best way to do it. You
It's more
have,
complicated or more complex
yeah,
rule set, and which it should be. I mean, if you're, when you get to, and I think I was talking with, a couple guys about this, like, and it came up in conversation. I'm thinking, when you get to the next level, let's say you take any kind of sport like we play now, like football or whatever. You're in high school. The refs in high school games, they're shit, bro. Right? They're like,
yeah,
they miss
yeah.
things. There's favoritism, whatever home field you're playing at. And then, and so people, the teams aren't held to a real high standard of play, for skill. College, way different, right? You got to get that 1 foot in if you're catching the ball on the sideline, pro, tons more rules that you got, especially now with the, no hitting in the head kind of thing, concussion stuff. So,
All the safety.
right. So, I mean, as you go in a higher bracket, the skill goes up, the skill level goes up. There should be more rules. Like that is, you can have that. It's not like, it makes the game more. I guess everyone needs to be more proficient at their job on the field.
That's 100% what I love about NSL. Like I tell everybody, it's just as mentally exhausting as it is physically exhausting.
Yeah.
Because depending on the rounds, you might play 10 minutes, 15 minutes rounds, and they're really fast. NSL's designed to play very aggressive. We don't want you sitting in the back bunkers shooting at each other. All the big bunkers are towards the middle, so that's where everybody's going to push. It's just designed to be a lot more aggressive. But then you don't have very long to think of, what you're going to do the next round, because you have 1 minute in between rounds. So you're loading BBs, you're talking to your team, trying to figure out what to do. It's chaotic. So you definitely have to be prepared. If you could have a coach, a coach would be amazing to have on your sideline. It's just that next level. Like, I don't disrespect any organization out there. I love all the CSLs, Speed QB, Syndicate, like just all those. Like, it's great for the sport. I
Right.
just feel NXL is that next, or NSL is that
Paintball.
next level. It's professional. Like, we're not saying that no other organization isn't professional, but
No,
that's just what we hold our players to, that
sure.
standard of professionalism.
Yeah.
And we're trying to push it to the top, and that's what we want to be. That's what we're going to be. Like, when I went over to Netherlands last year and they had the Nations Cup, I don't know if you know what the Nations Cup is.
No.
Sorry, it's NSL format, but what they do, they bring the best players from each nation. Last year they had 6 nations there. See if I get these right: Germany, Netherlands, Spain, France, Italy, and there's one more in there. But they bring the best players over and say whoever's the coach of that team can only take 3 players from one team. So, like, if I was the coach of USA, I could only take like 3 tacos, or go down and pick 3 SYG players or 3 HSA players. That way, you can't go pull your own team. But it's designed to get the best players. And when I was
Wow.
there last year, I wish USA was there, because they line up the players, they play the national anthems for these
Holy
countries,
shit.
and like just to hear a national anthem at a airsoft event, it
Right.
I had goosebumps. I know we're going to have a Team USA there this year. I'm putting one together. I know I'm going to be a baby. I'm going to be bawling because playing our
You've
national
been in it so
anthem.
long. You've worked towards this thing, and here we are now to
Here we
this
are.
next step.
It's amazing what NSL is doing. Just by having like an all-star event like that is epic. It's so epic. Then they're going to do a few months later. They're going to have the globals, which is the best teams. There'll be three of the best teams from each nation will go there if they can make it. Like three teams from USA. The top three teams will go
What?
there and compete. So kind of the Super
Dude,
Bowl.
this is it then. This is what I've been asking about. When I first started learning, hearing about Speedsoft, I'm like, like I said, one of my first questions, like, right, who's the best team, Because I think the first time I asked somebody, I was like, so who's the team to beat in America, And they're, and it was kind of like their idea of like, oh, like Murder Inc., SYG, there's, naming off a bunch of teams, And I think that's how, I think asking that question is how I found out about tacos, actually. Um, so yeah, and then LTD. I was talking to King Lobo, and he was like, I said, "Who would you want to play against? If you could choose." He's like, "I think LTD." He goes, "I know everyone says SYG and Murder Inc. and all this stuff, but I think I'd like to play LTD." I was like, "Oh, okay." I never heard of him, So I'm learning about all these teams, and I was like, and that kind of led into, so who's the best team in America? Well, we don't know. It's like this, and this, and I'm like, where's the championship? So this is it. This is what's going on. And so go over how did NSL come over here? Like what happened and what had to happen and why did they kind of bring it over here now?
So a lot of it, like it over in Netherlands, it's huge there. That's all they
Yeah.
play. Very seldom do they go out and play, 5v5 or anything like that. Usually it's some kind of practice for NSL. It was huge over there. And a lot of it was the Monk products, because the owner of Monk also started NSL. So
Oh shit.
he did both of those. Um, and we
Oh,
were just
okay.
we needed something over here. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of the European grips, the Monk grips, started coming over here and just playing that quicker style. Um, and he knows, like as big as it is where he's at, he knows that it could be so much bigger here in the U.S.
Mm,
There's so many more players. There's so many more cities because they only do it out of, well, at the time, one field. Now there's
mm,
multiple fields. We have fields in Canary Islands. Like they're popping up everywhere. But
okay.
there's just so much potential for it. And exactly like what you said, where's the championship? Who's the
Yeah.
best? Um, there's all these other organizations, and I know I got to keep saying it, but there's no disrespect to them, but they're
No,
kind of regional. Like you have
they are
CSL in the
regional.
east, you have
Right.
Syndicate that's kind of on the west, and there's just not anything big, and this is the biggest thing that we've had so far, and um, it's something we need. Like we need to figure out
Yeah.
who's the best teams, and going through NSL is the best way to do it,
For
in my
sure,
opinion.
man. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I don't think those guys, Roy or whatever with Speedkeeping, I haven't talked to him yet. I want to. And Keegan, I had him on for CSL. None of those guys would get their feelings hurt, about that. That they
And
know what they're, yeah, they
I,
know where they're
I,
at.
I've talked to all those guys, and they
Yeah,
know. I just don't want to come off as like,
sounding like,
this is the
yeah,
best.
ours is the
Only do
best
this.
shit. Yeah,
Yeah. No,
right.
play
No, no,
play every organization. Try different
right,
guns. Try this. Try that. Try whatever
right.
makes you happy.
Well, it is, but what you're saying is, and if anyone's confused, which you shouldn't be, but anyone that's confused, what he's saying is NSL is the next level of the skill level.
Yeah.
This is the elite play style and game type that Speedsoft needs to go up. So this is the top tier kind of tier one or whatever kind of events. I mean, Milsim has the same thing. You got different Milsim coordinators and event hosts. You've got Third Coast Airsoft that does a way more relaxed type of environment. They'll do 2.5 days, but it's more relaxed. A lot of breaks in between, games and stuff. And
Yeah.
then and then you got on the other end Milsim West, hardcore as fuck.
Very strict. Yeah.
Yeah, so and it's great for the sport in general to have all these different options for
Hmm.
people to go to in different parts of the country and different play styles. If there was only Milsim West, very few people would play Milsim. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, this is, in fact, I'm talking with, I'm not sure who from NSL, but they hit me up soon after I, set this up with you.
Uh-huh.
So, and I know you're connected with those guys about, helping them kind of set up over here and stuff.
It was the NSL America website or Instagram. That was me, but it was probably the official, which they're out of Europe. There's a lot of us that run different IGs and this and that. So
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, I didn't know who it was. Well, I thought maybe it was maybe you or somebody you knew here. I thought it was NSL America or something. And I said, well, what time zone are you in? It was when I asked them, so we could set up the time for the podcast, and they said we're in the Netherlands, so it's 6 hours ahead of us. I was
yeah,
like,
that was probably the NSL official
yeah, it
Instagram.
is.
Then yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so I'm talking with them tomorrow, which I'm really stoked about too. So you today, them tomorrow. And then of course the event is next weekend. Man, I'm looking forward to it. It's cool.
Yeah, every month. Let's see, we're in Indiana next month or next week. Then we're going down to Tampa, going over to Rhode Island, Sacramento, and back to Rhode Island for the championship. So we're
Bro.
pretty darn busy, and yeah, there's a lot of traveling that. If you want to be the best, you got to travel to the events. I'm sorry, that's what you have to do. That's
Yep.
where we need sponsors to start stepping in. That's why it's awesome that HK is helping out so much with teams and players.
Right.
But yeah, that's the next level. And I know a lot of people complain because our events are roughly around $600 per team, which yes sounds expensive, but it's a 2-3 day event. Like it's
That's
not
for the whole team?
yeah. So
That's not that bad.
no, but people hear $600 and they're like, "Oh, that's so much." Well, if you got 10 players on your team, which we have, that's what I would recommend. That's $60
Damn,
for
that's nothing.
for a 3 day event. That's $20 a day.
Bro, these Milsims my boys are going to are fucking $250 a ticket. And that's just the basic. And that's so if you want to do a tier 1, which is a night game on Friday night with a helicopter and shit, that's a totally separate ticket.
See, that's dope right there, though. That's cool. Helicopters and stuff.
Fucking A, dude.
Come on.
I mean, if these guys, that's what I was talking with a couple guys last week. Like, man, can you imagine, right? There's this thing out here where these guys graduate high school. Maybe they go to college, maybe they don't. Some of them want to go in the military, maybe they can't. Medical thing or, the family obligation or whatever. And, but they like all that military type of stuff, the tactical gear and all this kind of run gun and shit, and they've been playing airsoft for years. And then, okay, well, here's an event. You can really play military for 3 days. You want to fly in a helicopter and shoot down on people? Fucking A, bro, go. You want to sneak around with an elite squad at night and do wear night visions for 20 grand, like you can buy your own and take them, or they rent them. They started renting them now at these mills. I mean, there's so much you could do. So anyway, $600 for a fucking team is, in my opinion, is cheap as hell.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just registration. Like it does start to add up once you start.
Sure.
Like for us to go to Indiana, plane tickets, hotels, rental cars, and but you get a few players on your team, and everybody's paying a little chunk, and
yeah,
not too bad. If that's what you want to do, you'll make it happen
for sure.
But,
hell yeah. Well, you have enough time to plan in between, like what's coming up ahead of time. It's not like, oh, surprise.
That's
next
the biggest
weekend.
thing that the NSL tried to come up with this year is make sure we have a solid schedule. People know what the dates are, when to register, when registration closes. Because, doing everything as early as you can, that's always the cheapest. Plane tickets, all that stuff.
Yep.
So, people just got to plan. Like I said, this is a professional league, act professional, start taking responsibility, getting your team signed up.
Yep.
It's a lot of work to, organize a team to go over. So,
For
you know,
sure. Well, the thing is too, these guys that play casually, they think they're on this level where yeah, I play every weekend. Yeah, well, how much do you really put into it, right? Like, you're playing one day on a week, like one time a week. If we practiced, if we never practiced in football, we only played, in high school on Friday nights, right, in varsity or whatever, you'd be shit, bro. You'd be shit.
yeah,
You practice all summer, 2 days,
yep.
right? All that shit leading up.
Running drills. It's not just playing the game. You got to run drills. Like
Yes.
if you're
Yep.
playing football, you're doing the tackling dummy over and over and over
That's
and hitting
right.
the sleds over and over. That's like us. We're working on our breakout drills over and over and our
Right.
slides. And it's not just playing. Like you have to run drills. You have to run this like a real practice.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. You want that next level. You gotta step up your game and get a team and practice and practice, practice. Now for running and sliding, like gear, are there any gear restrictions or requirements on NSL that's a little different than what most people are used to?
Um,
Like as far as your outfit,
so
your
you
knee
you can't have
pads.
nothing padded. You could have like your typical forearm pads for sliding, knee pads, but no chest, no shoulder pads or anything like that, like some of
Hmm.
the paintball jerseys have and stuff like
Right.
that. Um, of course, a full face mask, your typical HK mask, dye, all that
Yep.
stuff. But really, there's nothing special. You could go
Okay.
out there with whatever you want. A lot of people still run HPA with the backpacks. Um, so yeah, pretty much whatever your style is.
Yeah.
One of the biggest, I guess, equipment things is you could go out there with unlimited mags, however many you want. They just can't be over 200 rounds.
Gotcha.
So that's usually the biggest equipment thing that gets people because they run high caps or
Mm,
some of the new EPMs that hold 250 rounds or
right.
whatever the craziness is. But yeah, equipment wise, just get out there and play.
Yeah. Right.
So,
So do you guys is there you've been playing for a long time, you have experience. Is there a good style of knee pad that you guys wear that like slides better on some of these
well, no,
fields?
I mean, we slide pretty good on the concrete. Me, I'm old, I'm broken. I was a firefighter for 18 years, so my
Oh
body
shit.
is just beat up. Um, so I used to wear, and I still do sometimes, depending on how I'm feeling, like the hard shell knee pads.
Yeah.
And I went to like Home Depot and got the thick padded because
No
I'm
shit.
beat up. So when I run and slide, like I don't want no pain. Um,
Right.
but these kids, they're running so fast. Just a regular um, little pad, knee pad, they're fine. It's just so you
Yeah.
don't bump your knee or whatever. But people are sliding everywhere, no problem. Um, Hopefully, um, we could start going over to turf. We have a lot of
Mm,
concrete fields that we play on, or arenas that we play in, and stuff like that. Um, Over in Netherlands, it's nice turf. They slide for days.
mm,
Indiana's turf, so that's going to be fun. It just hurts less. So hopefully,
right.
we could start getting some turf fields and stuff like that.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. That's why you got to
Gotcha.
practice your slides.
Yeah, I saw there's a girl I follow. I can't remember what team she's on. Her thing is Fire Pants or TK
I
or
knew you were
something
going to
like.
say that. I knew
Oh,
you were
you
going to
did?
say her name. I knew it.
You
I knew
did
you
you
were
really?
going to say her
Because
name.
I saw a video where she's practicing sliding.
And she
Bro,
slid for days.
yeah. I think the one video she put up is like she slid into the barricade or something, like she does. Yeah, right.
That's
I
fire
was
pants.
laughing. Yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
and if you look at it, she only takes like 2 or 3 steps off the breakoff wall, and she slides twice as far as she's running.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
that turf that they got over there. They got some good turf, but
Gotcha.
stuff's not cheap either. So,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, I'm sure.
yeah.
So, yeah, so how did you bring it over here? Like what was between you and Monk, you guys set it up, right? As far as bringing the tournaments over here.
Yeah. Yeah.
So was there a lot of planning, let's say last year before you actually said, okay, we're about to, we're ready, we can release the info or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. There was a lot.
Okay.
So I started doing Monk over a year ago here. Um, not full time at that point. Um, went over there to the Nations Cup. I can't even remember what month last year. I
Yeah.
think September. I don't know. Um, July maybe. Who knows? And I went over there, and Bert wanted me to see it live, like because I've watched him on YouTube, but watching
Okay.
it live is just a complete different experience. Um, and the goal was for me to learn how to run it,
Mm,
and come over here and start running them here. Still the goal. My problem is I love to play. So Bert's let me play some this year,
gotcha.
and kind of still learn how to run it and stuff like that. But yeah, there was a lot of planning, because we had to talk to Fields and convince them this new style. Like trying to explain how NSLs ran, it's complicated. It takes a little bit of time. Like if I was to
Mm,
if you don't know anything about it, it would take me at least a good hour for you to get a knowledge of exactly what's going on, because there's a lot to it. So there
wow.
was a lot of meetings that we had to set up with Fields and explain to them what we're trying
Right.
to do, what we're trying to bring. Talking to sponsors, trying to get them on board. Um,
Now, what was
Getting
your biggest
teams. Like,
obstacle with the fields? Because I've heard a lot of things, with field owners. It's like, what is and I understand why they have to kind of think this way. Like this is their business. This is something that they maybe a property that they bought that they invested in or renting or leasing for years maybe, and recently in the last couple years, airsoft is starting to really take off. I think COVID lockdown,
yeah,
everybody watching YouTube videos, I think it really helped kind
yeah.
of push that because once everybody got out, it just blew up. And so these field owners are like, well, what? I mean, I get so many people here in a weekend. I make X amount, whatever. What are you guys, offering? Like, what is the benefit of hosting one, right? Like, is that
So
an obstacle that you had to overcome?
um, there's two major ones. Obviously, what you talked about, how a lot of the fields they make their money off their weekend players. So to hold
Right.
a tournament, sometimes they're breaking even. Who knows which way it could go? But
Mm-hmm.
two of the biggest issues talking to field owners, one is NSL fields. We try to make them exact field. Every field should look
The
exactly the
layout.
same. Yep,
Mm-hmm.
same layouts. We just dropped the layout a few weeks ago of what the NSL field should be like. So that's the biggest and one of the hardest things, is to have a field be able to commit to putting in, the bunkers that we decided and have that layout, and to be able to spend the money to maybe build more bunkers or change your field. So
Yeah.
that was the hardest thing, and to convince them to do that. We just want everything like no home field advantage. Like we don't want to play
Yeah.
on one style, then we go play the championship in Netherlands on a complete different field that they've been playing on for a year. Like, just,
You can't have that. You got
they
to
all have to
eliminate
be the
those
same layout.
variables. Yeah, you've got to eliminate those variables so that the only variable of or determination of who is the best is the team skill.
Yeah.
Like you got to remove you can't, like you said, you can't play a different. So speaking of that was probably difficult to find, or I guess decide which fields to approach first, because there's a lot of indoor fields that
Hmm.
their structures are pretty fucking permanent. You know what I mean? Like you've
Yeah.
got, stairways going up, you've got rooms that they've built, that they would have to literally just tear down. So
Yeah.
how did you guys
And
decide that?
yeah, that was one of the hardest things, is just finding the right location, because we know that every field is not going to be exactly the same. We might not be
Yeah.
able to do this, how we could do that. The field here in Sacramento, we got it almost exactly the same last year as the layout. But yeah, we just tried to find the field that could do it. Bert came over here for about, I don't know, about 3 weeks, and just literally flew from city to city to field, like every single day he was at a new
Holy
field. It was
shit.
crazy. Like, then the last week of his trip, he ended up in Sacramento, and that's when we held the NSL. So he was going to every field to make sure, because he's got a very specific way of how he wants it, and
Yeah.
if you can't do it, you can't do it.
I mean, that's how it should be. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, that's some of the hardest things is finding somebody who is willing to make the changes, for this field and wants to be part of the bigger thing, because it's not just that event, it's the next one, then the next, and two this year we're holding there. Then next year we might bring the championship, because everything's not going to go to Netherlands. This year, yes, we're doing Nations Cup there. We're doing globals there. It's one of the best fields out there. It's designed for NSL, so that's where we're going to be holding all that stuff. I got a feeling next year we might see something here in Sacramento where the Nations Cup is here. All the nations come to U.S. to do it, or we have the globals here, which is the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Or we go to Canary Islands. Canary Islands got a great field. So
shit. Okay. That's cool.
We just got to find the right fields and the owners that are willing to work with us, because we have some strict guidelines that we got to go by. So,
were there some fields that were kind of interested until you said, "Hey, the layout has to be this," and then they're like, "Oh shit, I don't know if we can move shit every other weekend."
No, honestly, I'm finding it where there's more fields that are hitting us up, definitely interested, want to do this. We just don't have the time, because there's only so many events that we could do.
Right.
Here in the U.S., we're only doing 4 events, qualifying events. I mean, because you could only do once a month at a different city, stuff like that. Then eventually you got to start doing championships and stuff like that, and it takes time. So there's only so many events that you could hold, and that's what I'm finding is more and more fields are hitting us up, hitting me up, hitting Bert up. And it's just hard to squeeze them in, and which is a good thing. That's a good thing.
Yeah, it's good problem to have. I mean, this is and the other thing too is, if you have too many and not enough time in between to get the word out, market it. I mean, you could have a great event, but if nobody knows about it, you ain't got shit.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's some of the biggest stuff. That's why I'm flying out Tuesday, which is the event technically doesn't start till Friday. All the Europeans are flying in Tuesday, the refs, all the tech guys that set up everything. We set up cameras for the live stream. We have our own cameras. I just shipped a lot of boxes to Indiana, a lot of boxes. Just our production that we do, we try to do that even next level. The moving cameras, we have a cameraman on the field doing interviews. We have a sideline reporter. We have commentary up top. We have our head refs. We have commercials. We have interviews in between rounds. We put a lot into it. We put a lot into it.
That's awesome.
If it's your thing, sit down and watch NSL for an hour or two. The Nations Cup from last year was great production. NSL in Sacramento last year was great. They they put a lot into it. I probably spent pretty close to $1,000 just shipping equipment from here to Indiana.
Oh, I'm sure.
So just that alone, it was a lot of boxes just for all the stuff that we put into it. So
yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, it's a big production, big level production. Getting everyone, there's a lot of moving parts going on that you got, and this is the first kickoff of it, the first event. So, yeah, good for you, man. This
all hyped. We're excited.
I am too. So where is it going to be streamed on their the NSL YouTube channel? Is that where? Because I think I've seen that before.
Yeah. So all NSL events will be on their YouTube, NSL Official Sports YouTube.
Okay.
So yeah.
Well, I'll make sure I put those, any link that we need to in the description of this video and of course the podcast part. But that's good, because I remember the first time I heard about it, I was like, they told me, oh yeah, you can they live stream this, and I'm like, well, where do they? Because I've seen the posts on Instagram, but then I go and I'm like, where? Oh, it's on their YouTube. Okay, so I go back to the Yeah, that's good. Okay. Awesome, man.
Yeah, we're
Dude.
we're we got a team that just that's all they do is social media and putting all these videos together. Like editing a video takes a long time. And they do great. Like NSL and Monk put out some of the best videos and edits, and so yeah,
That's
there's
cool.
like you said a lot of moving parts to it.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, when I first started editing for these guys, I'm like, I know how to edit because I started like 3 YouTube channels before the Airsoft one, just to keep from going nuts
Yeah,
when I was coming out of being sick. So I'm like, but I was editing like 10, 15 minute videos down to like 5 minutes. And then gameplay. So then we would do an unboxing. It's like maybe 30 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever, that I would edit down to about 7 minutes or 10 minutes or something. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, it's fine. And then they come back from an event, a 3-day event with GoPro footage. And I'm like, what the fuck? My computer broke. Like GoPro footage films at such a high, like the file size is
yeah,
insane.
yeah,
And going through, and of course, I'm not there. So I'm not the one, that I don't know what's on this, camera, on this little card. So I put it on like, I'm literally watching every second so I don't miss a 10-second firefight,
yeah.
so I can catch some action.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, editing was a fucking nightmare for me with gameplay. I was like, holy
Yeah,
shit.
yeah. Like
Uh,
if people who haven't done it, like they just see a video that somebody puts on, even a little 60-second on Instagram. Man, that could take a long time. Like you said,
mhm.
doing these long events. I can imagine doing a 3-day event. Like, whew, that's a lot of film you got to go through. And
Right.
yeah,
Well, I
it
was
takes
on their ass
hours.
when they went when they first started. I was like, they had issues like normal stuff that everyone that starts filming their own stuff, same problems that everyone else has. So, the GoPro was it got knocked a little bit, so it was pointing down. Right? I'm like, fuck. Like
Yeah,
I'm watching the video and I keep tilting my head up like I want to see. and
yeah,
and then the battery ran out, and then whatever. It's like, and then it overheated, and then whatever. So once we got it all figured out, and every time they'd come back, I'm going, "Hey, y'all, look at this shit you're giving me. I can't edit this fucking shit."
yeah,
So I'm just messing around with them, but I'm like, "Hey, do better, do better." And in fact, film everything. Film on the way there. Give me some B-roll stuff. While you're driving there, on the way back. So they come back after I bitched about it for like 2 months. They come back from this one, and there was 3 of them at the event. They all had GoPros, and then one of them had scope cam too.
oh
And
yeah,
so they dump, I don't know, 8 memory cards on my desk. And so I look, I got what I asked for, and I
you
hated
did,
it.
you did.
I was like, fuck, no,
That's yeah, yeah. I'm the same way. I started with one GoPro, and next thing I know, now I got 4 GoPros, a run cam, a drone. I'm like, this is too much. I'm doing too much now. I got so much film that I'm going through and editing, and yeah,
Now,
it,
have you
it,
gotten the what is it, the 360 cam thing now? The
I
i360?
haven't done that one yet. That's probably
Yeah.
going to be my next one. That's
Yeah, those
probably
are
going to be my
cool as
next one.
shit, bro.
That's some cool stuff.
We don't have one, but I've talked with some guys on here that use them, and I saw their footage. I'm like, how did you get this shot? And they're like, oh, it's a 360 camera. I'm like, what the hell is that? They're like, oh, it does this. I'm like, oh my god, this is crazy. Okay, it's
Yeah,
cool. Hell yeah.
yeah, those are cool. I'm just worried those would get shot out or something like that because they're pretty big too. Like however you
Right.
have them mounted, they're pretty big. But yeah, that'll probably be my next little fun toy.
That's cool, man. Hell yeah. Bro, you got a shit ton going on. Wow.
I,
Okay. I am so glad that we were able to talk before next weekend. And like right before because you are about to be busy as fuck.
I am yes. So um, I run own Monk US, um, and with Christmas was crazy.
I'm
We were
sure.
running all kinds of deals. We still got deals, but then I decided to be, oh, well, let's move my shop. So right after Christmas, I moved to a bigger, better shop. And I don't know if you've been watching the news, but California's flooded and raining everywhere,
Yes.
and power's going out, internets are going out, and oh my, it's been a hassle. So the people that have been paying for it is the customers, because I finally yesterday was able to start putting out orders. So I'm doing orders. I'm trying to run NSL USA, trying to coordinate the guys from Europe, make sure they have everything when they come over here, and not complaining. I love this. This is what I signed
Right.
up for.
Sure.
But yeah, there's a lot that goes into what I'm doing daily.
Now, how's your family with it? Like your son and all that. You got them
Yeah,
helping
so my
out? Are they
son, my son,
supportive?
very sportive. He's on the team.
Yeah.
So he helps out whenever I need it. I'm very,
Self-sufficient.
yeah, like I like to
Yep.
do it. Like I
Right.
got this. I'll do it.
Right.
But when I do get overwhelmed and I need, some tech work done or something like that, I'll call him. My wife, amazing. She's the brains, because I'm just an old idiot firefighter that likes to shoot plastic BBs. So I'm not very smart. So when it comes to the business side of it, like I'm just like, hey, wifey, can you help me with
Yep.
this? In fact, I had an email from my accountant. I forwarded it to her. I was like, hey, this is smart person stuff. Can you take a look at this? So she's helping me. My team is great. Like we all got together this weekend and helped put the shop together and got our stuff packed. So everybody's helping me from my
Yeah.
team, from other teams. Like
That's good,
yeah,
man.
yeah,
Good. Good.
getting a lot of help. So.
Awesome.
But yeah,
Now,
a
have you
lot of stuff
played?
going on, and we're only going to keep pushing forward.
Oh yeah, for sure.
No
So you
slowing
got
down.
the one in next weekend, and then you said what, 3 months after?
Next month, every month there's one
Every month.
at the end of every month, just about. So we got Indiana at the end of this month. February is Tampa.
Yeah. Okay.
February
Okay.
Tampa. Then March is Rhode Island. April is Sacramento.
Yeah.
Then June is the championship back in Rhode Island.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Rhode Island is what is that? Extreme?
Yes.
Extreme Airsoft.
Yep.
Yeah. I've heard a lot of good things about that field. Okay.
Yeah, they got a great field, put a lot of money into it, nice bunkers. So yeah, perfect match for him.
Yeah. Good.
So, but yeah,
Now
yeah,
on the roster for NSL, um, I've been following who's signed up and that kind of thing. The teams that signed up. So for NSL America, is that only teams from America that are
yeah,
playing in that throughout this whole
yeah,
season? Okay.
yeah. Because we had a few European teams that want to come over and
Yeah.
in battle, which is fine. But point wise, we're keeping it just Europe and America. Um,
Gotcha.
so we have a few different tier systems. Our regular points is what we call B tier. It's just your everyday tournament where it goes towards totaling points for the championship.
Gotcha.
NSL also does C tier. Now that's like your local. Say here I'm in Sacramento. The field that I play at, one of them, Sac County. If they want to just put on a local tournament, NSL format, they can. So like if Europe wanted to come over for one of those, they could just for bragging rights, but it's just a local tournament, nothing going towards
Right.
points, nothing like that. So, but yeah,
Hmm.
we are definitely trying to keep it, and we are keeping it America, Europe on their side. Then we'll battle in the championship.
Awesome, man. Dude. Well, kudos to you, man. You guys, are breaking ground for sure. I'm excited to be a part of it as far as watching it unfold this
Yeah,
year.
yeah, and thank you for helping us spread the word and doing what you're doing. And
Oh,
I,
thanks,
I
dude.
see
Yeah.
you putting out a lot of these podcasts, and thank you for all the time that you're putting into this. And
Hell yeah.
it's appreciated.
Oh, I'm so glad. Well, it's fun. Like I said, I really enjoy it, and I like building this family tree with everybody that's fairly new. I've had young guys on that are like 13, 14, 15 years old, just starting out. I'm having guys on that have been they're in their 60s, have been playing for 25, 30 years. So it's I enjoy that. I enjoy meeting people just in general, So yeah, well, I appreciate the kind words, man, for sure.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah,
appreciate anybody that's trying to help the sport grow. And when I say sport, that's not just speed soft. That's any kind of airsoft,
right.
from milsim, speed soft, your casual playing on the weekend, rentals. Like anybody helping the sport, I appreciate it. So thank
Yeah,
you very much.
absolutely. Yeah, dude. Well, tell everybody where they can find all your stuff and all that good stuff you got going on.
Yeah, I mean, if you get on Instagram and you're anything about NSL, you'll know me. Tacos Baby Goat. I'm on Tacos Airsoft. I run Monk Customs US on Instagram. I run NSL America on Instagram. If you're emailing anybody at Monk Customs, you're talking to me. So yeah, I'm anything Monk and NSL in America. I'm helping run it. Um,
Awesome.
that's where you can find me.
Hell yeah.
One thing I need to put this out because
Yeah.
this is helping the sport. I love how HK, huge sponsor. They took care of tacos. They're taking care of other teams. I love, and that's what's going to help grow the sport is sponsors. Yes, Monk, the owner of Monk, also started NSL, but he's really starting to push sponsoring his own NSL. But he's putting
Right.
his money where his mouth is. He's trying to get stuff out there. If you go on to Monk Customs on Instagram, and all you have to do is reshare their story,
Mm-hmm.
we're sending a 25, 30, 35% discount code out for Monk items. And
Wow.
that's a pretty good, like we weren't even giving those discounts during the holidays and Black Friday. So very
No.
easy. If you're looking to get a Monk product, go on there, um, shout them out, and you'll get a discount code that you could use towards Monk.
Oh,
They're
that's
also
awesome.
doing a raffle where they're giving away a Monk gun. Pretty much one of every product or multiple. They're just giving them out. That's at the end of January, so might
Okay.
want to hurry on that.
Yeah.
They're doing a lot. The thing I love about Bert, and I'm not just saying this because I am Monk also.
Right.
This guy, like, he's not out to make money. Yes, he's got to make a living,
Of
but he's
course.
about growing the sport. Like,
Yeah.
he wants these field owners he wants them to make the money.
Mm-hmm.
We're making money off Monk. We're doing that. Like, we want to grow the sport, so we're not
Right.
out trying to make money. We're trying to make the prices fair, so all these teams can start traveling and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Yeah, but I mean,
just keep supporting the causes.
the better you guys do, the better your company does, the better Monk does over in Europe, the better the HK does, when they succeed, Airsoft succeeds. So any new player, they're going to have better things. They're going to have better equipment. You have more money and time to put into R&D, like new things that are going to be, some of the hop, you're going to come out with a new hop up, whatever it is, any kind of new innovations that's coming out in Airsoft, that has to be driven. But money drives all of this. That's just how it is. I know people don't like to talk about it, whatever. They feel weird if somebody makes a profit, like you're bad or something. But they just don't understand how business works. And so knowing that, hey, all you young players coming up, this is how the world works. So if you enjoy airsoft, put your money where your mouth is as a consumer and support the companies that support the sport and like Monk, like HK, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's reciprocated all around.
No, you,
Yeah,
you said it perfect. You said it perfect. So,
yeah,
but
yeah, man. Thank you so much, dude. I really appreciate it. I know, like you said, you woke up at 1:30 in the morning, like just thinking about all this planning stuff. I know you got to be exhausted, all the planning you've done over Christmas, and you got a family. I appreciate what you're doing. I appreciate you being on tonight, and
yeah,
definitely, I would love to have you on in a few months after some, these events. Some of the events have come out, and talk about the next, thing and how it's going.
down. I'm down. I think that'd be pretty cool. Come on, a few months from now, when we're towards the championship or some of these
Yeah,
Nations
yeah,
Cup, where maybe I can jump back on and talk about that. But yeah, just to see how it's going. I appreciate
awesome.
you having me on. Thank you very much.
All right, brother. You have a good night, man.
Yeah, you too. Thank you very
All
much.
right. See
Good
ya.
night.